Hey everyone, this is Tom from MonTac here, and this is the main event prologue of Apoc versus Lucky. Obviously, incredible matchup. Three-time pro champion Apoc here, obviously the second player in Europe to hold the title. I think the newly christened Sword Saint is here today. How are you doing today, sir? And are you excited for this matchup?
Hello, yes, thank you for having me. Of course I'm excited, and I'm also excited for this interview we're doing. This is something new and should be really fun.
Yes, it is a very interesting new concept for us. Obviously, we have not only got Apoc here, we have got the challenger. I think they'll be, rank 2 by the end of this week, of course. We've got the high roller, the former pro champion. Obviously, they've won a tournament as well back in March 2022. We've got Lucky here. How are you doing, sir? And are you excited for this matchup?
I am very excited. I have that first match was the first time I've won a tournament was very calculated. I would say, in how I won.
Now,
Yes,
of course,
it was.
This match has happened before. Now, I would say this is definitely the trilogy of the season. Definitely something spectators are going to want to know right off the bat. Lucky, is how do you feel you've corrected the mistakes in your previous matchup with Apoc, obviously in the September Grand Final? How do you feel like you do?
I feel like the only mistake I made during that match was that I played my Deck King, and not my Lucky Queen. Because if I played Deck King, he would have took my Deck King, and then I would have then I could have played my Queen, and then I probably would have lived. And it was a really close match, and I feel like I could have took it afterwards, but that was a very deciding point, and I just wasn't. I was thinking about both ways, but I didn't exactly know what was in his hand, and it was just a slight misplay that just happened to be the only misplay I needed to lose. That's semantics.
Yeah, fair enough. It was obviously a very interesting, very quick play of that recovery. Both times, both matches, it was quite decisive. Speaking of decisive, you're at the moment now, Apoc, as the Sword Saint, using Rogue Destroyer Dragons. You are 6-0, undefeated with that deck. How do you feel about this new Sword Saint streak, and how likely do you think it is that Lucky will end it?
Well, I think it with Lucky in general, it really depends on the roles. I think his deck is very good, and also he's a pretty good player, and depending on luck right there. Also, I think might have a pretty solid chance to end the streak, depending on what he's playing.
Depending on what you're playing as well, Mr. Trying out a new deck, semantics. If you don't play that deck, I can't end your streak. As simple as that.
True.
But,
exactly. That's also.
So it's all semantics. I might not even get another opportunity to face that deck, but it is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I could show up as the Sword Saint, or I could show up as something else completely.
Show up with a full vigilante deck, thinking that I
can you imagine?
Stay on life gambling. To be fair, the vigilante match I had against the Y was really close. Me having the 3500 beat Stick Elder probably won't turn out against all the weenies in the vigilante archetype. To be fair,
There's shots fired at the vigilante players. Okay.
The only good one is Darius, who's a big boy, but everyone else is weenies. Okay. All of them.
The other synergy is also good in Vigilantes. I don't know, the Barox, I think.
Barox is pretty solid.
Yeah, that's also really
true,
solid.
But it's situational.
It's probably not as good as level 4, but it's still playable. Now, of course, the final question, and the most important one, I think we'll start with Lucky here. As the challenger now, obviously, you have been in the title picture a bunch of times. Why do you believe this time you'll win the match?
I just feel like I'll win. As simple as that. It's a gut feeling.
And Apoc,
you can't argue with that.
You can't argue with that. This is gut feeling. And Apoc, obviously, why do you believe you'll win, or do you think it's enough to have a gut feeling in this situation?
Well, I mean, I think I have a pretty solid chance of winning just because I did it before. If I play
I mean, I
the deck.
did against you before as well. If you
But
remember,
I didn't play the deck.
in the matches leading up to you becoming champions, I did beat you.
Yeah, but I did not
as well.
use this deck.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you used a variant of
I
this
used,
deck.
yeah, I didn't have Rogue Beast, I think, in it.
Yeah. You were playing as like a weaker version, and
Yeah.
I just like defeated.
I traded Rogue Beast for like more consistency in the Dragon department, I think, in that deck. But now with the Rogue
Yeah.
Beast, that's just another power level and another like disruption that I have available. So
Yeah, to be fair, I feel like me losing Jackal was actually for the best because of the deck you were playing. In particular, because you could have just sent it back to the asset pile with Chimera.
yeah.
So it's actually worse that I could put it on the field, and it's better that it stayed in the asset pile, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Like sending back elders into the asset pile is a big like
Advantage, yeah.
yeah, that's the word. Thank you for my deck. So depending on that, we might yeah.
Okay. So do you feel like Apoc's deck is currently a bit too formidable at the moment, Lucky, or do you feel it's quite doable?
I don't think it's formidable. It has a wide range of offensive and defensive options, and it's a really strong deck. I'd say, in like a tier list wise, I feel like there's decks that can beat it for sure. It's a beatable deck. It's just you need to understand that your opponents. First of all, you have to understand that they're using it. That's pretty important because all the archetypes can be individually countered in the deck.
Okay.
As well as all the like very like specific things are like there. But there's always a chance that he doesn't play that deck, and thus countering it just means you auto lose, which is a terrible idea. But if he thinks that you're going to make a deck that counters his deck, then he is going to then just play the deck. But then it's a
it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is
it's a whole
But,
ordeal, and that it's a bunch of mind games, and
Yeah.
I'm willing to play. Is what
I'm
I'm just
willing
gonna put
to
it
Willing to
to.
play, well said. And you did mention a tier of the deck. What tier would you say his deck is at the moment in your eyes?
I'd say like top of A.
Top A? Okay.
Top of A.
So
Okay.
would that be...
Yeah, top of A, low S.
Okay, so is there a double
Yeah.
S in that tier, or is S the highest in this tier list?
S is the highest.
So low S, high A. What do you think of that assessment, Apoc?
I mean, I have to agree. Like, I think the deck is beatable. I don't know if anyone like can come out
Don't nerf it.
with something that can beat it. Yeah, I mean, like you
It-
know,
whatever
The
I
deck
played it, I
is-
felt
yeah.
like I could beat it, and you know.
Okay.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, I think the deck is beatable. Like every card besides infantry and oppression are set 3 or below, and that's like pretty nuts. I think like also, most of the new cards are like the broken ones.
I am truly very excited for this matchup. I think you guys are both going to bring in some incredible decks, and I cannot wait to be there and commentate. So keep that in mind, everyone. This will be going down next weekend. Times will be posted in the match announcements, and I think it's going to be an incredible matchup. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say before we wrap up the very first MonTac Prologue main event?
As always, like, subscribe, comment. Make sure to ring the bell to get more amazing MonTac content.
Very nice.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you everyone for watching. Please let us know what you thought of this new series. Obviously, just thought we'd have a crack and see how it goes. Thank you all for watching. Like you said, like, subscribe, join the Discord, play the game, become a champion. I'll see y'all later. This has been Tom, Apoc, and Lucky. See you later.
See ya.
See ya.